Hi everyone. Sorry about jostling the table. This is Jen. I'm getting my onion seeds started for the year. And I thought you'd like to see how I do it, which it's almost New Year's in Ohio, and I'm just seeing how they do if I started them now and grow them on. Right now I don't have, as you can see, I'm not filming upstairs. I'm down in my basement. This is where my grow station is. You can see part of it behind me. And the silver, my husband built these for me, so they're waist high on me, which is great because I can't stand like this and work. It doesn't work well. So this is perfect height. And the table's wobbly, sorry. And what he did was add a fluorescent light up here, and then I added the LEDs with full spectrum light with the red and blues. And this is how I start seeds inside. I didn't do much of it last year. As you can tell from my gardening videos, I haven't done much lately. And I'm probably blown out because of the lights overhead, but it's the only way I could get it done or set it up. So I'm sorry, but it's the best I can do. So let's get started. I'll show you how I plant my onion seeds. It's pretty simple. And the varieties I'm growing, in case you didn't watch my video on my onion haul, I'm growing Ailsa Craig. Yeah, that's not showing at all. I'm growing Ailsa Craig, Tropina Lunga, which I really like. I'm trying this Australian Brown this year. I'm also doing Onion Round Tropea and Zabroon Shallot. And I'm also growing Leeks, Giant Musselburgh. Yeah, everything's just going to be blown out. I'm sorry. It's best I can do. So, I'm using these. I got these off Amazon.com. They're made by Garland. They're actually for a window self-watering thing. I took it apart, used it like this because it worked better for me. And I love stirring seeds in these little things, especially onions. So this is just a little humidity dome that you put on here. You can use these over and over again. I've used them over and over again. This is like year 4 or 5. They work great. So the first onions I'm going to sow are the infamous Ailsa Craig, which if you watch my last video, you'll know I do not have much luck with it. So this is their last chance. I'm doing everything proper way. So what I'm using for my seed starting, which is not recommended, but I have it in the pot. I have it. I'm going to use it. Is Miracle-Gro potting mix. I know you're supposed to use seed starting and all this. I've done it both ways. I prefer starting with the potting mix because they say that the seedlings don't need it, but by the time that they start getting up where they need it, I either forget to fertilize them or whatnot, and this works great for me. I go with what works. I'm sorry, it's not organic, but it works. And it's still healthier than if you get it in like the grocery store. Because we've had several cases of where we've gotten vegetables and then ended up with food poisoning. It's not fun. Trust me. It's not fun when your husband gets it. Okay, so I filled this up to here. I'm going to go ahead and water this. I do not know where my sprayer is. I'm going to have to wait till Walmart gets in all their stuff to get me another one. But I'm just going to wet this. Which I'm going to have to keep an eye on this because all my seed starting trays are broken or out in the garage where I can't find them. So I'm going to let that soak in. And we'll just get the others filled up and ready. So I'm going to pause this while I do that. When we come back, it should be ready. Okay, so I got these all watered and filled. As you can see, I got a nice puddle of water and it's not leaking. Of course, the table also kind of tilts that way, so the side that's cracked, actually that is the side that's cracked. It's leaking. Oh well. That's my gardening style. If it leaks, it leaks. Anyway, so first we're going to do this Ailsa Craig, which, okay, that way you can see it some. So we're going to do this one first. Like I said, this is last year, last chance for this onion. I know other people grow it and do fine. Okay, I keep bumping my head on that. I'm sorry, I'm off center now, but it was annoying me. So, one of the... Oh, well, I'll move that later. It's just a heating pad. It's fine. Okay, so first thing you should do whenever you're planting or seed starting anything, make a label then. Then plant the seeds. And if you think I'm just being silly, no. I've forgotten too many things. Sometimes people call me Dory. But you want to mark them right away because otherwise you will forget. I have forgotten. And I'm getting a larger... And I know these rot and it wears off, but popsicle sticks are still my favorite, most cheapest thing to use. And, you know, cheap, easy. And also, I'll probably get a new one once it goes out in the garden. So, this is Ailsa Craig. I'm just writing Ailsa on it because none of the other onions have Ailsa anywhere in the name. So, I'm just going to turn this around real quick. I'm sorry, people. There we go. Okay. Like I said, I'm in the basement. If it gets on the floor, it's fine. Nobody's going to care. So, trust me, a few weeks ago, the basement was flooded. I meant to do this a few weeks ago after Christmas, but our sump pump wasn't working and water was up to the bottom step of the first landing. So, there was no me putting on waders and getting down here and gardening. So, alright. And onion seeds are pretty easy to plant, get started. They're almost idiot-proof if you have good seeds, which these are good seeds. They're from Baker Creek. Great company. I recommend them. And if you've never seen onion seeds, they are these little tiny, tiny black seeds. And I see all these people, they measure them out, they do this. Yeah, that's not my style. I make a sharp point on the seed packet, as so. And I just, if I get too many, it's fine. I'm going to be pricking them out and transplanting them. And I just sprinkle them over the surface until I think there's enough. And I still have a crap load of seeds left, so. Those are my Ailsa Craig. And since this is moist, all I'm going to do is stick my hand in the bag of dirt and pretty much put that on there. And this is another thing I have. It's for some other onion seeds I'm going to be planting. But I just push this in and firm it down. Move that back some because I got to put the lid on. And then all I do is put that on and it's ready to go on seed mat. The water will soak up into it and it'll be ready to go. So that's how I get onion seeds started. So I'll just let you watch me plant the other ones. I knew I should have paused it. And that was the sump pump. It's been kicking on every few minutes. We had some rain recently. So, our basement floods. It's an old house. Next one I'm going to be doing is the Tropina Lunga. Like I said, it's a favorite of mine. Hubby thinks it's a little too sweet for a red onion, but I get to pick the seeds. And it's tasty and it's good. And if you don't want to write the whole thing out and you know you don't have another onion like it, don't. Just write out like Trolunga. That's what I do. It's easy. It works. And who's going to be looking at your penmanship on your seedlings down that you have down in the basement? Unless you have some crazy relative that comes down and looks at stuff. Which my dad can no longer make it down the stairs, so I don't have to worry about that. And my mom doesn't care. So. And by the way, neither one of them watch my videos. I know, that's horrible, ain't it? I don't care. I'd rather them not. My sister watches my videos. I think. She's subscribed to me. I don't know if she actually watches them, but she's subscribed to me. So. And a few of my friends. But yeah, so like I said, pretty easy. The light, I have the light set up mainly because onions and other plants, they get really leggy if you don't have the right light. And with this setup, I have plenty of light. Watch me try to plant the same seed twice. That would not be good. So, that was Tropina Lunga. Now I'm going to do this Australian brown, which looks like pretty much the basic brown storage onion you get at the store. Which is fine by me because we used 4 onions today already. We were making beef stock. We got some beef bones from a little IGA over in, I think it's Raymond. No, it's not Raymond. But anyway, you don't know where it is, but it's a little small town with a little tiny IGA. I've been in there. It's not very big. It's part of a gas station. But they have the best meat and the cheapest meat. And so we got some beef femurs. And right now up on the stove, we have my big 32-quart water bath canner filled with onions and carrots and celery. We put some basil in. Not basil, bay leaves. Bay leaves, garlic, parsley, thyme, pepper. I tossed in 2 cloves like the Julia Child's French cookbook said. 2 cloves for a big 32 gallon. I'm not sure how much flavor they're going to add. But we got that up there cooking, and it's smelling really good up there. So anyway, I tossed in like 4 onions. Uh-oh. In it, so they should be going nice and happy, and it smells yummy up there. And then we're going to take the beef stock, strain it, strain out all the big bits, and pressure can it into quart and pint-sized jars. And we'll probably do that again a couple times this winter. It's also heating up the kitchen really well. So, but yeah. So if you think I'm growing too many onions, I am not growing enough onions. But we have a big backyard, but we don't want the whole backyard to be a vegetable garden. You know, my kids don't play in the backyard. Anytime it's like, hey, let's go play in the backyard. Okay. And then I find them out in the front yard, which is postage stamp sized, trying to get in the street. Kids, I really don't understand them, but I have 3. I've been sick. Give me a break. So, this is my next onion. This is the round Tropea. I've never grown this. Like the Australian brown, I've never grown it, but we'll see how it goes. And yes, I just realized I did not make a label for this. Like I told all of you to make a label before you start planting the seeds. I'm not a very good YouTube host. Oh well. That's what you get when you get a hillbilly planting seeds. So that is round Tropea. And this and the Lunga are both Italian variety onions. And so far I haven't found an Italian variety I don't like except for one tomato. And that was the... Okay, it has a name this long. And all I can remember is Consulta or something. It's a really weird, knobby tomato. I didn't have very good luck with it. And my hubby didn't like it because it got cat facing really bad. I'm not saying don't grow it or don't try to grow it like the Elsa Craig. You might be able to grow it great in your area. I've just never had luck with it. And that's why it's called Last Year You Get to Try This. Because if it ain't going to grow and you don't have very much space, trying to grow a 5-pound onion and when you don't have much space isn't really the best option. Okay. Give me a sec while I rearrange my seed tray so they fit. They all fit in here. But I have the better seed tray for the watering. It's not much better, but it's better than me going outside to the garage and digging. So that's that one. Now I just have the brune shallots, or chicken leg shallots. And the giant musselburgh leeks, which... Yeah, that never works when I do that. I was going to say I was going to do half and half, but that never works. And I think I'm going to do the chicken leg shallots in these. And these I can never tell the difference after I've planted them, and if I forget to mark them in the garden between these and my regular onions, they get so big. I kind of can, but I kind of can't because I got those Lungas too, and they both get about the same size, and I'm not sure which is which unless one's really red, because these are kind of a pinkish color. Oh, let me make my label. Oh, same spot. Yeah, it's still leaking and dripping onto your floor. Do not worry about being neat with your gardening. If you... And my co-host, the Sump Pump. I'll make out my tag. Yes, that is my new co-host, the Sump Pump. I forget what I was saying. I'd have to go back and rewatch it, and I'm not doing that. This is me normally. That's the scary part. Anyway, so I really like these brune shallots. I don't think my hubby cares about variety as much, except for green beans. If the green beans have seeds, don't use them. There's a couple varieties he has nixed because they had too many strings. Which this year my string varieties are going back by the beehives, where nobody will want to go and pick them until they're dried, which is fine by me. Because sometimes I don't even want to go back by a bee. I love bees. I love having bees. I love having the honey from bees. It's just anytime something starts buzzing around my head, I totally freak out. And when I mean totally freaked out, I have freaked out with a bee in the car and driving one block thinking, oh, I'm okay. It's on the other side of the car. No, I gotta freak out, get out of the car, and have a panic attack. Which, funny story about that. One year, I got a bee stuck in my shirt up here. I'm in the backyard. I'm flying. My dad's a beekeeper. My husband's a beekeeper. I've been around them all my life. I know everything about them. But I get one stuck here in my shirt. I freaked out, and let me tell you, I stripped out of that shirt in the backyard. And I'm a modest person. I finally got it out of that shirt, and it was dead at that point, but because bees, after they sting, they're dead. But that doesn't mean anything to Jenny, who's freaking out. So, yeah, it was a fun day that day. And everybody else in my family's just like, why did you freak out? Because that's what I do when a bee comes around me. Okay, this does not have drainage holes. This is one of those cheap, if you saw my microgreen video, cheap 88-cent containers from Walmart. I'm just going to leave this as is. Or if you want to add holes to it, which, give me one sec here. I am not as prepared as I thought. Yeah, I don't know where. I had a screw on the table for no apparent reason. And now I need it. Say let's be. Okay, well anyway. Other way to make holes. Scissors. And if you're worried about this, nobody in the household likes these. So I have no problems putting drainage holes in this. Except for the fact I might stab myself and bleed. I doubt that, but it's happened before. Yeah, funny thing, I was in food service for years, working around knives, all that. That's good enough. Never cut myself. First month at Walmart, I cut myself with everything under the sun except scissors. I cut myself on pegs, I cut myself on paper, I cut myself on cardboard. Who cuts themselves on cardboard? It's like, what the heck? What was the worst thing I ever cut myself on? It was probably the cardboard. I cut myself on a screwdriver. No knives, just weird stuff. I even put new blades in box cutters. It's like, okay, I'll cut myself on this. Nope. If any of you are worried about being normal, don't worry about it. Just not going to happen. Ever. You just finally just learn to accept and like, I'm weird. And go with it. Okay. I need to wet this. So, if you enjoy listening to me talk. So, hopefully this drains out of the bottom. Like it's supposed to. Oh, good, it is. Really well. I think it's doing better than the seed trays. So, anyway, I watered it once. I let it soak down a little bit. I'm helping it along. I don't actually need to do this, but I'm helping it along. Mainly because the other time I had the video off while I did this and was listening to some music. And the reason I'm probably talking so much in this video is I'm in the basement and sometimes it freaks me out. It's not a nice basement. I got old cinder, I got foundation, I got dirt over there. It's not a nice basement. But that also means it's great for seed starting. So, all I'm going to do with this is, like I did with everything else, leeks are pretty much like onions, except they don't form a bulb. And so you do that, and like with everything else, sprinkle dirt over the top. Go press, 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 and then make out the tag that you forgot to make out. And I'm just going to write leeks because I'm only growing one variety this year. One year I grew 2 varieties, but I'm just going with 1 this year. So all I need to write is leeks. Okay, I'll write mussel so I know. Because you'll see me in August going, what are these? I planted them. I do not have my seed packet. Can you tell this has happened before? And these I'm just going to... Okay, that's going on top, and then once they pop up, I'll put them in there. So I'm going to put that over there with those, and that is my onion seeds for this year. I was going to try some of this old seed I have, but looking at that, I think I got enough onion seeds started. More than. I might take the old onion seeds that I'm not sure about, and since I'm doing some winter sowing, take those and put them in milk jugs outside in the cold. So thank you for watching. I hope this was informative. I hope you learned something. And I hope I didn't chatter too much about random stuff while I'm planting. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Now you get to see me leaning really close to the camera because it's all the way across the table. Bye. Oh, and like and subscribe if you like this.